Sorry about that. Welcome to Pagan Goddess Tarot. And today I am going to be doing the zodiac sign of Virgo. And I'm doing it for the year 2021. This is still a general collective reading. So you know how the rules apply. If it resonates, take what's yours. If it doesn't, leave it. If you feel like later that it does start resonating, it is fortune telling, so it may not have happened yet. So you're more than welcome to come back to the channel and re-watch videos. These particular videos I'm not doing extendeds on, mostly because I work 6 days a week, and I have a lot of videos that I want to get out, and these are just basically my gift for you. I do have other videos that I had some technical difficulties with my camera. I don't know what I did to it. I think I have it fixed. But the other videos should be coming up on Patreon. If it doesn't have a link, you'll understand why on the other videos. Okay, but these won't have links at all. So, that being said, if you like the videos and the channel, please hit like, subscribe, and share. It helps the channel grow exponentially. I know it's part of their algorithm. I don't know how the algorithm works. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows how theirs works. So, which makes sense. So I just wanted to cover that. Now, the other thing we have to cover is a disclaimer. If you are under the age of 18, please exit left. I do have full frontal nudity in some of my cards, and even though they don't denote any sexual connotation, they are still, by YouTube standards, the nudity precludes you from being on this channel. So please left. And besides, I probably wouldn't be reading for anybody under the age of 18 anyways. It's a very, very rare case when I do that. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to do a different spread today, so these videos are going to be a little longer. Just giving you a little warning there. And let's see. And I still pre-shuffle the decks, so you don't have to watch a lot of shuffling. Okay, and today this is the Animal Spirit Oracle, and you have the Pig Spirit, and it's telling you to use your mind wisely. Use your mind wisely. Okay. All right, and I'm still going to pull two from the Angels and Ancestors. Okay, two from the Angels and Ancestors. And the first one is the Hermit. It's rest and retreat. Or retreat, I'm sorry. Retreat and recharge. This card has been coming up almost for everyone in one form or another. It's either coming up as the Hermit or the, I think it's come up in every one of them. Since, and I think that maybe we need to do that right now. This has been one heck of a year. And let me see. Your second card is the Magic Guardian. And it's telling you to unlock the magic within. And that's magic with a K. I think I have two. No, it's just good card stuff. It's magic with a K. And when you have that, that's the energy that swirls around shamans and the religious people in some sects or groups of people. Okay, so today I wanted to do a Celtic spread. It goes a little more. It goes into a little more depth about what's going on, and so I will just letting you know that I'm going to be pulling significant. I'm sorry. I will be pulling clarifiers, and I will probably be pulling for Archangel cards for more clarity. But this is for the year 2021. Okay, And this is the significator card. This is you, the viewer. Unless you're the cross watcher. It's meant for whoever I put this out for. So this would be Virgo. Okay. There we go. And that represents you. And what it is you're guarded. It's also communication. You are looking at things from a higher perspective. Okay. Look how high you are out there. You're above the birds. You're very balanced to a degree. As far as your confidence in your abilities, you're fine. Because you're standing on a very small turret way up in the air wielding a very heavy sword. And this is someone, a page would be somebody that's young. So, but they're guarded. You know, they're standing in a guarded position. So, it's also communication. Pages were obviously communicators throughout the medieval time, castles and whatnot. They were the messengers. So, okay. And this is your environment. Wow. Looks like you walked away. You walked away from something, or you're walking away from something. And if you look, there's the Eight of Cups on the beach. You have the eclipse. This eclipse energy, this is coming up a lot too. That eclipse energy, I don't know what it did. I'm not too much on the astrological things, but I guess I need to brush up on all that. And if you look underneath it, those ships are still hanging out there. Those ships are coming in. But I mean, that could be anything. Those could be filled with salt water. They could be filled with treasure. It doesn't matter. Whatever it is, this one is going basically into hermit mode. They're walking away because the next card would be the hermit. Okay? They're walking away. Now, that doesn't mean you're giving up everything and losing your house and all that. It just means that you're walking away from all the drama, all the stress, and you're taking time for yourself to figure out, it's basically you're going to go into hermit mode and figure out what your path is. What is it that you want? What direction do you want to go in? You need some rest anyways. And then you're going to move forward. Now, this is covered by the Nine of Shields. This is the single card in most decks. She raises falcons. And you can bet at that time and place that women having careers was probably not well taken. She didn't care. She did things her own way. She didn't care what people thought. She did it anyways. She raised falcons. She's very good at raising falcons. She knows everything there is to know about raising falcons. She knows how to breed them. She knows how to cull the eggs. She knows how to train them. She knows how to hunt for them, and she knows how to teach them to hunt. And I could go on exponentially on this. She's very good at what she does, and she makes money at what she does. She's very abundant. She's happy. She's got it going on. This is somebody that has her own home, her own transportation, and or him. I mean, I read the cards. If it's a female on the picture, I say her. If it's a male, I say him. But remember, the cards encompass this energy. So if you draw this card, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female, you're working with this type of energy. So you can be a male. Just because there's a female depicted on it doesn't mean you can't be the guy that raises falcons, is very, knowledgeable and learned everything they need to know about what they do, and they're making abundance with it. That's the whole point. Okay? So that's what's crossing you. All right, so let's see what we got at the base of the spread. Okay, it's going to be way at the base of the spread because it's down here on the floor. And this is an odd card to be at the base of the spread because we're talking about what you have going for you, and maybe this is what you have going for you. is the Eight of Swords. That's feeling bound. That's feeling stuck, feeling bound, like you're obligated to do something. But see, she's really not. She's not tied tightly. She can lift the blindfold anytime she wants to. The swords are sharp. She could literally go back there and cut those bonds. She's standing in a puddle of her own tears. Okay? And that's what's keeping her bound. And she has clearly enough room to walk through there. She's just there. And I think that this is, it's usually what you have going for you. And it might be because if you're going, it's like she's coming unbound and she's going away into a thought process. Because if you notice, he's walking away from the puddles on the beach. Okay? And a new dawn is dawning in this card. Okay? In the past, you have the Queen of Pentacles. This probably represents you or someone that you knew. This was somebody that's very earthy and kind and giving. She's nurturing. But she's the person that knows how to grow things. She runs a household. She runs a kingdom. So she's exceptionally good at this. So she knows when the grains come in. She knows when it's time to harvest. She knows what to plant. She knows the ills of any diseases, the cures of any diseases, human or plant, anything that would affect their crops, that kind of thing. She's abundant because she's meticulous, just as her husband would be the king. She's knowledgeable. She knows she knows cures for people. She knows how to plant food, store food, and provide for everybody. And because she's able to do all that, she has abundance. So she does like her finery. She likes a nice warm fire. She likes nice soft clothing, and she's not afraid of that. And she doesn't care what anybody thinks about it either. Okay, so at the crown of this reading is the Seven of Cauldrons, and that means that you have options. Okay, you have options. Their spirit is handing you different options. You need to use discernment. You can't have them all. It's not like, and we tend to be like kids in a candy store. We want it all. Well, you can't have it all. And besides, some of those things aren't very good for you. Just because it's an option doesn't mean it's good. Okay. Now, in the near future, I see you holding on to something or someone. This can be holding on to coins. The shields in this deck is equitable to Pentacles in another deck. That's the same suit. It's just a different name for it. Oh, whoops, wrong card, sorry. So, you're holding on to something. So I'm going to go further before I get too much into that. Because in 2021, holding on to your money is not necessarily a bad thing. And having made it through, if you're still holding on to your money, that may be what it's talking about. Alright, so, or not. Because this represents you. You have definitely had your heart broken. So, you need to stop holding on to whoever broke your heart. Or holding on to the pain. Feeling bound. You're not bound to anybody. Okay? Your environment. Okay? If you can let go of that pain. I mean, you have to go through the grieving process. I'm not just saying, oh, forget that. But basically, yeah, forget that. If they hurt you, it's time to go. Sometimes it's inevitable. But you learn. That's how you go into that. That's why you go into hermit mode. That's why you pull things up and you heal it. Okay? And this is the Ace of Shields. So, this is your environment. That means you have a an abundant new beginning. Okay? You have an abundant new beginning. And I think that's why it's telling you to use your mind wisely. You do have this rest and retreat thing in here, but you know, you can unlock your magic and bring this in. That's what these cards are telling you. Okay? And those are very powerful cards. Okay? Your hopes and fears. Your hopes and fears was it was going to continue, you were going to continue to have this, but you are closing out a cycle. It was a brutal cycle. You got hurt. But the new day is dawning. This is, a lot of this is mental conflict. It's mental. The Nine of Swords is mental anguish. And this is like the last blow. You can't take anymore, and you're done. You learned a lot of hard lessons, but the first one came here where that sword went into the back of your head. Because this is all swords energy. It's all mind. And so you might have been with somebody that used mind games on you, but whatever it is, it's something that you can overcome with your mind. And that's where the resting and retreating comes in. And there's a new, but it ended a cycle. You're done. There's nothing to fear anymore. You've ended this cycle. The fear comes from, depending on what the situation was. Okay? A new day is dawning. There's a new day dawning, okay? And the most probable outcome, you're going to manifest. And again, this is, you have options. You have lots of options. These two men in this card, they're actually magicians. And they're not just creating something. They are manifesting something. Remember, they're master magicians. You probably shouldn't even attempt something like that, because this came back to backfire against them. They manifested her. That's what they're doing right now, is they manifested her. It's a long story, and I should do video series on some of these, the Celtic background. And the reason that they manifested her was to make somebody, well, he was legitimate, so that he could have holdings and stuff. They manifested her to be a wife. And that's probably him back in the tree mourning, because he only has one cup. He got what he wanted, but it wasn't what he wanted at all. She cared about him. She was good to him. But they created her. And she ended up, she was very, very headstrong. And then back in that time, that was unheard of. But she did whatever she wanted, and she ended up causing some problems down the line for them. But the point is they create, and look what they created. She created. Their creation created abundance. And an abundance not only of money, of wealth, but there was a wealth of knowledge. Can you imagine how much she knew? She was an expert in her field. It was unheard of in those days. So just know that you have abundance, okay? You have a plethora of choices. You can go anywhere you want to go. But what you should choose to do is walk away, retreat for a little while, realize you are not bound to anybody at any time. You have the right to recharge. Use your mind wisely. Don't use it to beat yourself up with. What you do is you go heal yourself, and then you unlock that magic. And then you pick one of these cauldrons and you go on with life. Okay? So, I'm going to do some clarifications on some of these cards. Alright, why are you guarded? Well, I can see why you're guarded. You went through a lot. All right, and see, you are presenting, that card's being clarified by the Magician. So, but because you did that, because you went through all that, you're going to be able to manifest things. Because you have rested and reflected, or you're going to. And that unlocks your magic. Okay? Unlocks your magic, the magic guardian. Okay? And that's part of the walking away and going into hermit mode. You're walking away, going into hermit mode. Okay? If you do that, you'll be facing your fears. Okay? When you have to face your fears. And you are nurturing something. You have something back there. It's just you're trying to work through the hurt. Okay? But when you do that, you will become that Nine of Pentacles. You're going to be strong and you're going to be abundant. I mean, I'm not saying you're going to be, running around buying, but hey, who knows? I'm not saying you can't buy a yacht. You never know. Especially in this day and age. Sorry. That's a long way down. And whatever it is, you have communication coming in or you want to communicate. This is somebody that wants to rush in, but they need to gain a higher perspective, okay? When you do that, you will become the Empress. You will become somebody that's nurturing and abundant, that will provide things. And she's the goddess. She's the mother. She's life. That is also a warning sign to be cautious because it does bring forth everything. She's often depicted as pregnant. So be cautious if you don't want to become pregnant. Okay? Now, the reason you have the Eight of Swords down there is because you're looking back with regret. Okay? This is not when you look back. Okay? You looked back. And yeah, sure, you have regrets. But you're letting this put you in this, and that's just mental anguish. You can't keep looking over it and saying, oh, if I'd have done this, if I'd have done that. No, if it was meant to happen, it would have happened. And sometimes that mental anguish is what inspires us to move forward and do incredible things, okay? So, the Lovers, that's a major arcana card, by the way, and so is the Magician, and so is the Empress, and so is the Moon. So it's a really powerful spread, okay? And it's telling you, let go of all this. I mean, the faster you let it go, the faster you have movement and victory, okay? Just heal it. I'm not saying go bury it, because that brings up trauma later. What you do is you go through the grieving process and let it go. You heal it. That's what we're talking about. Because a lot of people would just bury it and go on about their business. And again, you have the Seven of Swords. You're holding on to something. You may be looking back with regret. And this is your future card, so you need to stop. You need to consider that. Because somebody obviously was sneaky. And it's causing you to look back with regret. Well, if they were sneaky, why are you looking back with regret? And if you were sneaky, well then, accept that you did something wrong, learn from it, and move on. I know it sounds really harsh and terse, but, and it's not, I mean, you're not going to switch it off like a light switch. You have to go through transformation. But I'm just letting you know that's what you have to do. Find your own way there, but don't stay in that energy for long, because it blocks your gifts, and you'll spend months crying about somebody that doesn't care about you anymore. All right, and broke your heart when you could be looking at new options. You could be happy. You don't deliberately stay in that energy. I mean, I have an ex that, I loved him. And I know he loved me. But it was so toxic. It was such a toxic relationship. And it just, it wasn't workable, and all we did was hurt each other. And, you know, I have regrets over that, but I healed the fact now that I'm away from him. I know that he was not where I needed to be. He was not where he needed to be. And now, what, 3 years down the line, he is where he needs to be. And I'm obviously where I need to be. You know, we were just not meant for each other. Okay? So, and you get those options when you do the hermit mode. And that's, again, retreat and recharge. See, this is his wand. This is Merlin, by the way. He has magic in that wand. He went up there, he rested and retreated, and he found what he wanted. This is what will fill his wishes. This is a star in there. It's not just a light. But he's using that star as his guiding light. That's his wish fulfillment. The star card is wish fulfillment. He is using that star to guide him. It's leading him to his path. And the serpent is a Celtic sign of fertility. And that is also leading him down the path. So he's seeing the light. He's following that star, his North Star. It's guiding him. Okay? And that's what you need to do. Heal it. Figure out where you want to go. And that's what you do when you rest and retreat. And it's going to bring you abundance. Okay? It will bring you abundance. And once you figure it out, then you're going to want to charge ahead. And that's why it's telling you to use your mind wisely. You can't be in the, I mean, do you really want to be in the mental anguish? Or do you want to move forward? And it's hard. It's really hard. Trust me, we've been through it. And even that says, and the reason you're being given this gift from Spirit is because whatever it was very, very hard. Okay? Yeah, the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, I mean, it was pretty brutal. Not necessarily physically brutal, mentally. Okay? It was either they were, or you were, or the whole situation was brutal. But it's mental. Swords are all about the mind and thoughts. Okay? But in your hopes and fears, you have the King of Pentacles coming in. You're presenting as the Queen over there. So that could be you becoming the King. Or if you're a female or a male, or even a male, that could be your king coming in for you. And that could possibly be, it could be both. Because it's a general collective reading, so it could be 2 different areas. And this is the Knight. He's bringing a cup of love. Okay? He's bringing in that cup of love. And that's in your hopes and fears. So I think your fear is the 10 of Swords, ending that cycle. You have to end cycles, or you stay stuck in them. And then you have opportunities. And whatever it is that you have coming in for you, you have the chance to master something. This is something that you want. This is something that you discovered while you were on that path, while you were on that journey, when you walked away and went into hermit mode. And you're mastering it, and you're also making abundance with it. And see the rainbow? The rainbow is showing you how to get to the other side. You're trying to get to that castle, but you're so mesmerized by what you lost, you won't turn around. And the rainbow is showing you, trying to show you, you have abundance. The boar signifies abundance. And you have other options. And if you turn around, then there's a bridge over here. Then you would see the bridge, and then you can cross the bridge to get to the castle, to get where you need to be. And you don't have the 10 of Wands, but that is normally where you would go and you would drop off all those burdens, okay? So I think you're in the middle of a transition, and you're almost there, because you do have the Death card in the near future, which does not signify death. It means the end of a situation. You're ending a cycle, okay, and it's not a happy cycle. Okay. So, the Archangel Oracle cards. I'm sorry, these were the... What cards did I... Okay. Anyways, Archangel Haniel. Trust and follow your renewed passion in love, life, and career. See, and that's what happens when you heal. And it's hard. I mean, we're here for you. This is for guidance. Patience. Archangel Jophiel. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, you have Indigo and Crystal Children, and it's Archangel Metatron. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. Okay? So, it looks like you're going to have a great year. I know it sounds like it's not, but the resting and retreating part isn't that bad. It's just getting out of that swords energy. That's when you're going to have abundance. This is you're going to transition through this and you're going to be happy. You know, you're either going to be working on your career, you're going to be working on yourself, you are going to find abundance and possibly love. Okay? Because I mean, like, it's a well-rounded, you're basically going to have it all. Okay? So, I hope you liked your reading. I hope it helps you. And like I said, try to get out of the mind. To try to just forego all that mental anguish that's really hard. So, if you like the video, please hit like, subscribe, and share. Happy New Year. I know it's not New Year's yet, but since we're doing the yearly reading, Happy New Year. And have a great night. Thank you.